Miranda.
And I'm Allison, and we are Hand Therapy Academy.
All right, we are here today at the clinic, and we have Allison in, and she is going to talk about some of her favorite PIP extension options or splinting options and what you do for the stiff PIP, specifically in the direction of extension.
Yeah. So I think the PIP joint can be pesky, especially when there's like a flexion contracture. And sometimes, like, I struggle deciding what splint might be the best to use for a certain person. But I think I often use multiple splints. Like, I have patients do multiple things. Is that something you do, or do you just stick to one type?
No, I typically try I see which one's going to probably give the best result. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have my favorites, of course, and often it is a couple of things. Like often it's a nighttime extension
yeah,
splint that
me too.
I custom make, and it's usually probably including the MCP joint.
Yeah, just to
So I
give it
can
more leverage.
yeah, I get more leverage, and then usually it's wearing something during the day, like an L&B.
Yeah, I agree. I think I always a nighttime one for me because that's 6 to 8 hours of time that they don't need to be using their hand, that they could be getting that push on the joint. Um,
Mhm.
and then I like LMBs too. I also sometimes like reverse knuckle benders. Have you used those before? Like the reverse
You know,
knuckle.
I haven't, but I do notice that you order them, so I'm like, oh, they must work well. And I don't know why they've never been my go-to, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's like they're a little intimidating with all the rubber band. I don't know.
They're definitely more cumbersome than something like an LMB because I do like LMBs too, especially if someone can spend more time wearing it. I think the reason sometimes I go with a reverse knuckle bender is because you can add resistance to it with how many rubber bands you put on. And so, especially if someone is like, I just don't have the time to wear, my LMB for like as long as I want them to, I
Uh-huh.
might do a reverse knuckle bender just because they can make it a little more resistive for the shorter amount of time they're able to wear it. But it's definitely a lot more like cumbersome and big, and they could job their eye out with like the little hook that the rubber bands go.
Do you feel like you do you feel like you get a better stretch with the reverse knuckle bender than you do the L&B?
Um, I think because you can make it more aggressive. Like I know you can kind of adjust the LMBs, but you can get more of a stretch on the reverse knuckle benders. I think
Yeah, that's true. You can't. There's only so far that you can bend the springs, and then they spring back on the L&B.
for the LMB, yeah. But I do really like the LMBs when someone can be wearing it as long as they can tolerate because I think that's better, more time in it than an aggressive stretch.
How long do you usually have them wear the L&B for?
I tell them to like work up to an hour, and if they have the time for it, even longer. What about you?
Usually I do like 30 minutes, like three
Even less.
times a day. But
Okay, maybe I'm asking too much.
no, I don't know. I think like everybody's so different, right? And then how much do they gain? And maybe they need more time. I never thought to do an hour. I don't know why, but
I think a lot of people can't tolerate an hour at first, and
yeah.
that's a big time commitment.
Yeah. I think my favorite PIP extension is a serial cast though.
Oh, I forget about serial casting. Yes.
So if it's a really stiff joint, then I know, like, I just had like really good results with serial casting. I feel like they have to be in it a long time, and there's something about like the plaster that's kind of cooling. And usually when you take it off, their joint inflammation is down, and it just looks good. And you might gain like 5 to 10 degrees each week, and
Yeah, that's great. So when you're doing the serial casting, are you doing it weekly? Are they coming in once a week?
yeah, once a week
Okay,
typically,
that's great. I forget about serial casting. That is a great one.
and
Do you
it's cheap,
so cheap, easy to do.
easy to
Um,
do.
is it hard to get people to buy into having a cast on their finger, do you think?
I've never had some. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say never. Not that I recall. Like, I think usually people are like, "Yeah, let's get it done," and I present it as like, "This is something I've had like a lot of good success with," um, and I tell them we can make it removable or we can make it permanent, and it just depends on the scenario, the case scenario. Like, so sometimes the first time we do it, I'll be like, "Oh, we'll make it removable so you can take it, slide it on and off." And that way you can still do exercises. Just put it back on when you're done and wear it all the time.
That's a
Um,
great.
So, and I think to make it removable, usually you put a little lotion on the finger or maybe have them dip their finger in paraffin.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
I
I've never
think
made
the,
a removable one, I don't think.
I think the downside is that it's messy, right? You're casting, it's getting everywhere.
Kind of fun.
But kind of fun. Yeah, I think it's fun to mix it up, and usually patients, especially I feel like younger patients that have a little bit more pliability in their joints respond really well to serial casting.
Yeah, I need to remember about serial casting. I haven't done that in a while, but that is a great one. And I think it's probably good too for patients that aren't really going to be compliant with splint wear because
Yes.
if a non-removable one, they can't take it off.
Yeah. So usually like I'll present the options. Like this is our least aggressive option, and maybe that's just a nighttime splint, and then the most aggressive being serial casting. And then there's a few things in between, right? Like the joint jack, um, an RMO, like a relative motion splint, I think works really well. I forget about those. I think the RMO is hard for people to buy into though, because they don't really understand it.
Works, yeah.
Yeah. They don't get so explaining it to the patients and then telling them just wear it all the time, and I want to see how much you improve, in a few days and see you again. So I always present it like as a spectrum and then kind of see where they're at and what they want to try. And then also how hard is the joint feel? Does it have a hard infeel? Is it a soft infeel? How long we've been dealing with it for?
Yeah. Yeah, those are all really great points.
What about have you used any joint jacks?
I haven't in a while because I also kind of forgot about joint jacks. But I used to. Those are pretty good, I think. But I think you have to have at least like you can't have a contracture worse than 30 degrees for those, right?
Yeah, I was going to say 20. It's 20 to 30, but
20 okay. Um, but yeah, I feel like those have pretty good success if people wear them.
yeah, I think so too. I think they're pretty aggressive.
They're
And
pretty
then
aggressive.
those are intimidating put on because there's like a screw and you're twisting it.
There's
And
a
then
oh, you go.
you talk about the new one that's on the market.
Finger press. Is that the one you?
Yes.
I haven't tried it yet with
Yeah.
anybody. I have one, so
Yeah.
I want to try it. Have
And
you tried?
so for I haven't tried it, but for our audience, they might already know, but can you explain what the finger press is?
Yes. Let me think. So it's I think how they made it, it's a 3D printed like plastic material and it comes in different sizes and like different lengths. Um so you put it on and there's like kind of like the slide thing and that's how you straighten the finger. You like slide it forward or like distally and it straightens the PIP joint.
Right. And is it you attach it to a splint, right? Or no, it's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
Okay, so you don't need it's its own splint.
It's its own splint. Yeah.
That's an
So
option. Well,
yeah, that's also an option that I do want to try. I just haven't yet. But yeah,
yeah, it would be interesting if there was like something that really looked at all these different things
types of
side by side and then compared how much pressure it actually put on the joint, right? So you could kind of have this gauge. I mean, I think we kind of subjectively assess it like the joint jack's aggressive, the L&B is not as much,
right.
but it'd be nice to have like a side by side comparison of all of them.
That would be a really cool study. Sounds like another great capstone project.
I know, we need someone with like an engineering background.
I was going to say engineering, yeah, because I don't know how to get that information, but
Yeah, it would be interesting though.
yeah,
I guess what it could be is just like measuring the patient's joint and then have them wear it and then see how much has improved from that wearing time.
yeah, that'd be really cool.
But you'd have to have a lot of patients. So
Yeah, with similar injuries.
no. Okay, well, if you have any suggestions or information or want to share your favorite PIP extension, orthosis, or dynamic splint, let us know. You can reach out to us info@handtherapyacademy or @handtherapyacademy.